What's up, guys? So I'm here of the cast, your friendly neighborhood cameraman, and today for you I have a quick playthrough and deck discussion on P.a.c.m.a.n. Now, this is not my own concept, and I did net deck, but I have made changes since to my own taste. But I am your shepherd, you shall not want. That's one of my big things I like to do, even if it's not my own original concept. I just like to get new ideas out there. You will never see me doing profiles on decks that there are profiles out there 100 times over. I'm not going to do my Dolces or anything of that nature. But anyway, this is P.a.c.m.a.n. Pac-Man stands for Pure Advantage Camels, munch all noobs. So here again I got first turn Camel. We'll go for it. I got first turn draw. I draw into Swarm of Locust. Duality for Swords of Healing Light. And then set Camel Swords. And then set Bribe for turn. Or going up against I think it's just Telepsychics in general. This gets a little scary because it goes off pretty hard on this turn. But I flip Camel for 1, drawing into Marshmallow, and then just set that and Locust. Locust just setting up for whenever I might want to go off. But in the end, it looked like he didn't really have any defensive traps. But there he overdrives into Cleric and Commander. Cleric's effect for Esper Girl, and then tunes Esper Girl's effect to get that into his hand. So that's really kind of scary first turn, Barkion and Thought Ruler. Nothing to scoff at, but I don't really care. So on my turn, flip Lakuta for links, set links, and turn. We still have one more turn on swords, and we have Solemn and Bribe on the field. He Power Wells into P.a.c.m.a.n and Esper Girl, paying 12, and then sacrifices that for Overdrive. I didn't want it to happen again, so Solemn, why not? Which is an interesting thing I learned, is that Barkion can't counter traps, so which makes sense, really. But and then just Lakuta, blah blah blah, return. I forgot to flip links, but in this case he could have gotten rid of Nightmare's Steel Cage, and yeah, again, kind of looking back, that wouldn't have been quite a good choice. So he tunes into Beast there, again using Cleric's effect to grab Commander, and he Power Wells into Telepon, and then Commanders into Android. Psychics are scary. And there he got to gain 1200 per turn. Here's a slight misplay on my part. I could have done this better if I waited one more turn, but it still worked out in the end. I start to go off here. Those two, Marshmallow and Lakuta for Leviair, or Leviathan, and then 2 swarms for that. Ditch swarms, ditch Marshmallow, summon Blackluster. So there's the power of the deck. It's pretty insane what you can do with this deck. Again, if I hadn't done that while Steel Cage was up, it would have been even scarier. Just what I could have done there. Just bribe that E-Telly, because no, stop it. And then Solemn Dark Bribe. Or, yeah, I already used Dark Bribe. Or Solemn. Just another Dark Bribe on that. He sets Dimension Gate, and he has Miracle Synchro Fusion. On that end phase, I get a Lynx. Or I get a chain on Lynx. We Duality for, I think, just a Locust, because I was kind of fearing that back row, and I forgot to set Locust. Just ditching 2 more to set up for another Chaos play. And again, fearing that back row, just putting BLS into defense mode and using his effect instead. And again, a small misplay. I forgot now that these have two materials, or they have no materials, it doesn't work. But he Miracle Synchros into Axon Kicker, who I just fiendish chain, and then he Future Glows, hoping that I can't get over it. Of course, I at least have a BLS on field, so why not? Lol. Here's another kind of interesting or sad thing that I had forgotten about, and I later changed, is I don't have any rank, or I didn't currently have any rank 2s. In that case, I could have, Wormlinks is still doing things, but I could have gone into something better, mainly a Gachi or a Daigusto. But here is pretty much for game. Again, I just flip Locust, getting rid of Dimension Gate because I don't want that. Which really, just whenever it leaves the field, he gets that beast. And then just double attack, BLS, and then Locust for game. Now here's the important part and what makes this deck so great. With all those draws, I end up with 8 in hand at the end, and then 8 on field. As you saw, this deck is made for long play. You sit and stall and gain advantage until you can go off. Yes, I went off a little too early, but in the end it still worked out. We will go to a very quick we'll go into the deck in just a second, as Dev Pro is being stupid on me. So, alright, and here's the deck list. Again, it is Chaos Pac-Man, so we of course run Chaos Sorcerer and BLS. We run the flip-flop monsters, that I like to call them, like as you saw with De La Cuda, is that you can flip it up, or you can flip summon it and then flip it back face down in the turn. We run Double Locust, which is your MSTs. You get free magic or spell removal per turn. 3 Swarm of Scarabs, which are your monster spot removal once per turn, and De La Cuda, which is a free draw every turn. So with the stall, these just remove your opponent's advantage, gain advantage yourself, or for yourself. Triple Marshmallow, adding to the light count. So you run 5 darks, 6 lights for both of these. It's not hard to get out. I didn't run into it in that game, but a lot of times you're drawing into too many cards, which actually makes for easy ditch of a Swarm, a Marshmallow, or a Lynx into your graveyard instead of waiting for them to be destroyed. But I have learned that Leviathan helps in that case too. And then again, the Marshmallows count for your lights, but they're also great to stall, and a level 3, most importantly. And then Triple Worm Lynx. On the end phase, on any end phase, importantly, you draw 1 card. So your end phase, your opponent's end phase. Really nice, and it happens very often, is you draw into a Lynx and a Wabaku first turn. You set those, and they attack into it, you Wabaku, you get an extra draw at the end of their turn. For stall, we have Triple Steel Cage, Triple Swords of Revealing Light. This, no monster can attack for 2 turns, and your opponent can't attack for 3 turns. Again, for the early game, they put in work. They do what they need to do, letting you set up advantage until you can go off. And then double duality, consistency, as always. Extra stall, we have Triple Wabaku, Triple Threatening Roar, both chainable, both fit their own roles, and they both work very well. Double Needle Sealing, especially when you're setting up, most of your monsters, aside from Lynx, will be face down on your opponent's turn. You let them go off. Needle Sealing, kill all their monsters. Lol. That's the best way to say it, and it works very beautiful. Double Starlight Road for protection. Most of this deck is back row. You'll usually have a Steel Cage or Swords, along with a Fiendish Chain or a Solemn or a Dark Bribe or anything of that nature. If they're going to drop a Heavy Storm on you, it would be devastating. So don't be a fool, wrap your tool. And then 1 Wall of Revealing Light, activate it, pay 3,000 life, very few things can attack over it. And if they do, you most likely have an answer otherwise. Double Fiendish Chain to get rid of trouble, very bad trouble cards. One Solemn Judgment, just again, you're one out to anything. And then double Dark Bribe, you know, negate heavy, negate MST on swords, negate anything. I play these very liberally, especially when I'm making that final push, just to not give them any sort of advantage. Extra deck, even though I need to add these two Brosams. Double Stardust to complement the Stardust, or the Starlight Road. Double Leviathan, as you saw in that last duel. He is there for easy ditch of lights and darks. You overlay, ditch it, go for BLS. Simple as that. One Soul of the Silver Mountain usually doesn't come into play because you're only Earths or your Lakutas, and you'll very rarely have two of them on the field. I've never used it, but it's slightly recommended. 10 Tempo and a Muzu Rhythm. They hold each their own things. Muzu can run over most things if needed, and 10 Tempo, you know, you get he can get up to 2700, and also can remove opponents' Xyz materials. Triple Zen-Mains, great combo with Needle Sailing, or of course anything anything that could really go off. You pretty much have for your Xyz, like 10 Tempo is your defensive, Jin, Muzu is your offensive, Zen-Mains is your defensive rank 3, Leviathan is your offensive one. I pretty much only ever go into Leviathan or Zen-Mains. It's pretty much while you're holding out, you Zen-Mains, making your push, you Leviathan. Simple as that. Like I was just mentioning, I probably should go into Daigusto, even though I'll probably never get one. Just so, like, if you have the opportunity to rank 2, while you're making your push, you can go into Phoenix instead. But again, double Gachi for it's pretty much this deck holds 2 game states. It's stalling for advantage or going for game. So your extra deck has to fit those 2 roles also. But that is it. This, again, the deck list I base this off of, and the concept itself was developed by Zyronok Poon on Pojo. I will link to both of his threads in the description. But anyway, this is definitely becoming one of my favorite decks to play. It can run over most of the meta currently, and it's very cheap to build. So once I get it built, I will also have a locals report for you guys. But anyway, this is P.a.c.m.a.n again for the YugiCast. As usual, follow the Twitter, subscribe to the channel, follow the Twitch, etc., blah, blah, blah. And thank you for watching. See you in another video.